and what really works. You know, when medicine became a solely for-profit industry, the whole outlook on treatment changed drastically. It was no longer how can I help you get better, but rather how long can I sustain you as a patient? We've discovered, as many of you may have as well, that the solution to most of life's problems may be much more accessible than you've been led to believe. It doesn't come in the form of any of the medical or psychological community's grab bags of medications or band aid solutions. So here's an interesting fact: the drug companies even determine the curriculum in medical schools. And on top of that, the pharmaceuticals kill 300,000 people a year. So we decided to dismantle today's therapies and dive into the true source for formulating your own soul-based prescription to get the transformations that you desire in your life.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Hacking the Infinity Matrix, where every week we bring content to those of you who are not afraid to explore what it means to unplug from a reality that so many people completely get dependent on, and within a system that they just continue to fight so hard to hold on to its limits. Our mission is to bring you more choices of empowerment, abundance, wholeness, and freedom into the mix, to allow your creator within to emerge and prepare you for entry into life's master laboratory, where you can fully test the boundaries of what you and others consider to be reality. Now, what if all you ever knew was not what it appeared to be? What if we could expose to you that it's infinitely more? This is episode 56, The Placebo Factor, Dismantling Therapies and What Really Works. Before I jump in today, I know that we've been having some technical issues with the streams to Facebook and some other places.
It's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy.
So if you're not getting this in the normal way for some reason, we apologize, but just there was been some tech issues with it all week long, setting it up. And so when you do jump on, and if you do, I'm seeing that we don't have any comments coming in yet. So if you are jumping on in the comments, if you could just tell us, instead of putting where you're joining us from today in the comments, tell us something your city or country is known for. Okay. So if you're, for example, if you're in Paris, put Eiffel Tower, or if you're in New York, put, there we got some people, solar flares. Oh, okay. Someone up north then probably. All right. If you're in New York, put the Statue of Liberty, or if you're like Ross in Seattle, put Starbucks coffee. You get the idea. It could be a landmark, a sports team, or just something that makes where you live stand out. Okay, let's have a little bit of fun with that. Beach Boardwalk. All right. Nice. Okay, well, we are streaming somewhere, so that's a good thing.
So we are streaming on YouTube off of the second stream.
Oh, okay. All right.
The first one, so definitely the first one went into the ethers somewhere.
All right.
So we're going to kind of give it just a couple more minutes, let people kind of search for us. We have a ton of regulars, so they will find us.
Yes, that's for sure. All right. So we got trains, we got Astros, okay, good. And Wesley says he can hear us fine. It's awesome. Astros, we got Carl Sandburg birthplace. Wow. Okay. Fountains. Blame the solar flares. Okay, yeah, for the tech stuff. Yeah, quite possible there, because there could be some sun flares hitting our planet and creating some buggy stuff. And so for me, I'd put snow-capped Rocky Mountains. So again, go ahead if you're reading the comments, see if you can tell the country or city where others are from, and go ahead and comment on it. Just kind of let's make it a little game amongst us, and see what kind of fun we can have with that. I feel that have a feeling that the search engine's going to get a few queries here, Ross. It's
Yeah, for sure.
might be.
I'm thinking that when he said solar flares, like maybe that was why I was having so many troubles this week recording our new live free event.
Maybe
You know,
that's
so I mean,
possible.
I don't know how many times I did it. It kept getting this interference, and and Gary and I are just stumped. I'm like, I don't know what is going on. And so finally we found a solution, workaround. But yeah, that's actually a really good
Yeah,
thought.
yeah, for
So you
sure.
never know.
All right. So while you guys continue, I see some great ones coming in there. No, don't tell us where your city is. I don't want you. I want you to tell us something about the
City of
place.
well,
Don't
we got
tell us.
City of Fountains.
Mm-hmm.
Wesley, you cheated. Come
Yeah, I
on.
know, I know. And Monica kind of did too.
Uh,
Don't tell us where you're from. Tell us something about the place or something that makes it interesting. Abba, Peter Papa for. Oh, okay.
Abba, there you go. That's a
Interesting.
good one.
All right.
This is fun. We should do this more often.
Yeah. Okay. And while you do that, let me plant an idea in your head so that it can set roots and cultivate a real love for choices in your life. As we uncover this massive topic today, in fact, at times it may seem and even feel like I'm communicating with a deeper part of you. That part that's always that's not always fully conscious, that aspect of you that works all its magic in the background of awareness. See, while I've worked with and have been certified in many different therapies for helping people create transformations in their lives, I've come to the realization that when people actually change or don't change, it all boils down to one thing without exception. Okay. When you fully get this, you can either fully empower your therapy of choice or you can trash them and make them completely obsolete and useless. Okay. And when we say therapies, right, we're not talking about all the traditional ones, but yes, even the non-traditional and those that push you to your boundaries of what you'd call normal therapies, right? Therapies that claim to heal you mentally, emotionally, physically, or spiritually, right? And notice how I emphasized they claim to heal you in those ways, right? The one thing they all have in common is that a spiritually evolving life force shows up to participate, right? That self has a way of thinking about what it's willing to allow what it's willing to allow as a transformation to occur, when it will occur, why it will occur, and even how it will occur. So ultimately, it's about making the life choice that is designed to be in alignment with your core purpose. So what I'm saying is that the only problem or solution to your life comes from the way that you think about whatever the methodology it is you're thinking about using, right? If you think you have everything you could ever want or need in that moment of choice, then the transformation that you want just happens instantaneously, seamlessly, right?
Exactly.
And if you don't think you have everything on all levels of your being to step into that new reality you desire, then the transformation will be delayed until you do. And as you let that in, let it sink in, maybe it can even settle into the core of your spiritually evolving life force and develop the internal root system of empowered life choices while you stick around for a really great content in today's stream.
Yeah, and I'm sure most of you have heard or read that the gold standard for testing interventions in people is the randomized, placebo controlled clinical trial. in which volunteers are randomly assigned to a test group receiving the experimental intervention or a control group receiving a placebo, which is an inactive substance that looks like the drug, tastes like the drug, walks like the drug. I'm sorry, I'm getting carried away here. This is a dear subject to me. So you're comparing results from the two groups suggests that whether the changes in the test group result from the treatment or occur simply by chance or coincidence. So Dr. Bruce Lipton explains what he calls epigenetics, which loosely defined is the belief that you can alter your genetics by modifying your behavior, not by taking medications. According to Dr. Lipton, a minimum of 1/3 of all medical intervention is a placebo effect. That's the result of positive thinking, not of drugs. The flip side to the placebo effect is negative thinking, or as he coined it, the nocebo effect. It's equally powerful in regard to affecting your biology as positive thinking, but it works in the opposite direction. Yes, we can think ourselves sick. We really can.
And
So,
I'm going to interject here because,
sure.
this is something that I realized when I was a kid, that holy cows, I can really control whether I feel sick or not. Because if I
When
didn't
you
want to
didn't
go to
want to go to
school,
school,
I could totally pull it up. And I mean, it was like on demand. It was like like a superpower.
you know, and I never did that.
Yeah. Yeah. Mom, Dad, nope. I was always unhealthy when when I
Can you
said I
mute
was.
this? Are we editing or anything
Yeah.
like that? What's going on? Epigenetics requires a healing of the consciousness, just like Gary just said. Dr. Lipton goes on to explain that medications may not even be as helpful as we are led to believe. Drugs like Prozac in a laboratory test are no better than a sugar pill. And statin drugs helps less than 3% of the people that take them. And in fact, they cause side effects that are dangerous in about 23%. So, research supported by the National Center for Complementary Integrative Health has explored several aspects of the placebo effect. One study identified a genetic marker that may predict whether someone will respond to a placebo. Another supported the idea that placebo responses may occur outside of conscious awareness. And a third suggested that placebos may be helpful even if patients know they're receiving a placebo. The conclusion, they work. So now the question is whether you need to take a medication in order to reap its intended benefit. The answer, according to Dr. Lipton, is no. You have to change your consciousness because you already manufacture every equivalent of a drug right now. You have no idea. Your bodies are a fascinating mechanism. And if they're sick, it's generally because there is a deficiency of something. And what we don't understand or realize or have been led to believe the other direction is that, if we give our bodies and we start to find ourselves in balance, the body will start to say, oh, I need more of this, and it'll create it for us, or simply just heal an area. So if we take a hard scientific look at how our cells process information, respond to our outer world, and yes, respond to our own mind and inner thoughts, the wonderment of the placebo effect serves as evidence of just how powerful our minds really are and the capacity for our mind to truly heal our brain and bodies. There was a study in 2002. It was published in the New England Journal of Medicine. A surgeon addressed his patient's severe, debilitating knee pain through one of 3 surgical procedures. He could do it by shaving the damaged cartilage from the joint, which is the most common, flushing out the joint, thereby reducing the pro-inflammatory materials, or performing a fake surgery. That's ballsy. The first two procedures were considered the standard care for knee arthritis. In the third procedure, the surgeon did everything except modify the knee joint. So that included putting the patient under sedation, making a real incision at the site on the knee, and even talking and giving instructions as he would with the other procedures. All the patients were given the same follow-up medical care. And it comes at no surprise that patients from the first and second groups improved as expected. But now here's the turning point. The control group with the fake surgery improved just as well as the other groups. The surgeon himself declared that these patients seemed to have benefited not from his own expert surgical skills, but from a placebo effect. They thought they were healed, and so they made themselves heal. They were convinced they were healed, so the body said, "Oh, I'm healed? Oh, well, then I better get this all fixed up." Think about this. Think about this now when you see commercials on TV and you talk to your doctor and they're telling you how sick you are or how you could be sick or how you might have this. And they start to convince you that you're sick and you need me, or you need my pill. In theory, the control group should have had much worse outcomes. They didn't receive no real medical intervention, but their bodies had to recover from the scarring and the stress of the surgery, obviously. But this study undoubtedly demonstrated the power of the placebo effect, and in our opinion, the power of the mind.
Yeah. So in essence, what we're saying is that the placebo works because there is something more than just a body and a brain moving and fumbling its way through infinite space-time.
Right.
Right? There is something far greater that is us. And sometimes it taps into us, and other times we figure out how to tap into it. Either way, again, it's the spiritually evolving life force that shows up to participate. And having an infinite amount of life choices, to pick from, allows the solutions and the problems to coexist at the same time. The more you can rest in the truth and purity of the moment, with the infiniteness of it all, the less resistance you'll have, and the less dependent you'll be on something outside of you to determine if you experience the transformation you desire. From that place, it will be clear, and the solution to the solutions you need can materialize for you by simply making the life choices to change the way you think about things you think are not working for you yet. Okay, it's a little bit of a brain teaser, but it really is that simple, right? Because if you were to change the way you thought about all those things you thought didn't work for you, it would be like waving a magic wand and revealing that those very things were attracted to you because they actually had the potential to give you the transformation that you were looking for. And therein lies the power of the placebo.
And let's get something clear. The placebo effect isn't witchcraft. It's not. It doesn't occur when someone waves a magic wand over you and declares you cured. Although, Gary, I would really like to broach this subject in a later live stream. I really, really would, because there is something to it, but we'll get into that later. So it happens when you are engaging in something that you believe that will benefit you. When you're taking a pill, receiving an injection, ingesting homeopathic substances, or attending therapy for yourself or your child. It is the engagement in that activity that brings you hope for something better. Because when we experience hope, Our minds can heal and change our brains and bodies. Treating yourself with your mind is possible, but there's more to the placebo effect than just positive thinking. And again, we want to make that very, very clear. Your mind can be a powerful healing tool when given the chance. The idea that your brain can convince your body that a fake treatment is the real thing, the so-called placebo effect, and thus stimulate healing, has been around for millennia. Now science has found that under the right circumstances, the placebo can be just as effective as traditional treatments. So the placebo effect is more than positive thinking, believing in a treatment that'll work. It's about creating a stronger connection between the brain and the body and how they work together. And that's a quote from Professor Ted Kapchuk of Harvard Medical Center. And he's a placebo effect researcher. So more recently, experts have concluded that reacting to a placebo is not proof that a certain treatment doesn't work, but rather that another non-pharmaceutical mechanism will work. You never see that on mainstream TV or the news. So
Yeah.
how placebos work is still not quite understood by science, but it involves a complex neurobiological reaction that includes everything from increases in feel-good neurotransmitters like endorphins and dopamine to greater activity in certain brain regions linked to moods, emotional reactions, and self-awareness. All of it can have a therapeutic benefit. The placebo effect is a way for your body and your brain to tell the body what it needs to feel better. We just have to slow down and let them talk. While these activities are positive interventions, the level of attention that you give and can enhance their benefits. The attention and emotional support that you give yourself is not often something that you can easily measure, but it can help you feel more comfortable in the world and can go a long way when it comes to healing.
Yeah, and the water that the seed I planted earlier needs, the water that it needs here is to realize that you are actually in control of whether or not the placebo of your choice works, right? I just noticed a comment, and I'm just going to sidetrack here, which, Anna put it beautifully. The placebo is a magic wand we wave on ourselves.
Very
Beautifully
good.
put.
Thanks, Anna.
Beautifully
Yes.
put.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's because everything is a placebo, right? And Bruce said, what was the percentage? I can't remember. He said earlier,
Of
I don't remember what the percentage was, but you mentioned earlier what the percentage Bruce said was an actual placebo. I think everything is a placebo, right? A colleague of mine used to say, when we used to do live events on stage, he would say to the crowd all the time, nothing works, nothing, right? And his point was that you work, right? So I'd like to change that just a little bit by saying nothing outside of the self works, right? The self, spiritual evolving life force, is the key to unlock or to lock what you need.
absolutely. And I think going off of that, so we got to remember that Dr. Lipton's a researcher
Mm-hmm.
and such, and a very advanced researcher, and that even when you look at the what they're putting in the journals about talking about placebo, there's so much more to it, because yes, the surgeon that did the knee surgery is, he knew what he was doing, and he tricked people for per se, for lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But he didn't talk at all about the mindset of the individuals. So if he took 100 of the people who attend this stream, who understand this type of a mindset that we've been teaching for the last year or over a year, I think that percentage would be even higher. But again, people have, the majority of society now has this mindset that no, the doctor is the only person who has the answer.
Yeah.
I don't have the answer. My body doesn't have the answer.
Yeah, and what we're attempting to do on these streams and on Down the Rabbit Hole, which, by the way, if you haven't already registered, is Saturday mornings, 8 a.m. PST, and you can get the link. You can get the Zoom link by going. It's right on the bottom there, to that link right there, and register for the Zoom link, and come and join us, because we could, we continue to talk about these types of stimulating conversations and a wide range of other topics. So just go on over to hackingtheinfinitymatrix.com/rabbit hole, get the Zoom link, and come and join us.
That's a free call. We go about an hour, hour and a half sometimes. It's really real.
So what we're attempting to do in these streams is to help you to access more life choices, right? To get you out of the lazy and destructive thinking and giving you tools, sometimes consciously, and like today, very much unconsciously, to be more present, to encourage you to put in the effort to participate and strengthen a root system from your core to flower into the realization that will serve you best on your particular journey through this infinite space-time we call reality.
Absolutely. So the placebo is a fascinating field of science because it challenges established notions of how we heal. In the traditional model, you have been conditioned to go to a doctor and he or she would present you with a diagnosis and some treatment options. Right? That's what we do. That's what we're told to do. That's what we're conditioned to do and such. I just thought it's like, maybe that's why there's so many doctor shows, so that it can maintain this conditioning. Placebos work differently, though, in that they heal from within, not from out, as Gary said. And this presents a choice that you either heal from a drug or you heal from a placebo. The key to placebos, or so was thought, is that people don't know they're receiving a substitute. The idea is that they believe so strongly in the treatment that they begin to heal themselves. But what happens if patients know they are getting a placebo? Is it still possible to heal yourself when you know what you're taking isn't the real thing? Yes. So a recent study by a team at the University of Colorado Boulder examined whether or not knowledge of a placebo impacted its performance. The researchers applied a heating element to the forearm of study participants. The element was removed and a blue analgesic gel was applied to the area. Well, the gel was really just Vaseline with blue food coloring in it. But researchers gave some participants information about the supposed treatment, and some were told, hey, this is a placebo. The interesting part of the experiment is that though the participants who went through 4 rounds of the heating element and subsequent treatment before being told the gel was a placebo were able to reproduce the effects later on, even when they knew it was Vaseline only. These people believed in the treatment's efficiency and efficacy to such an extent that it no longer mattered if the medication was real.
Yeah, sometimes it's important to make change more important than the comfort you've grown accustomed to. Inviting change, welcoming it like the dirt welcomes a seed and immediately accepts it in, nourishing it, realizing that it's now a part of the whole. And then that thing that wasn't there before becomes so integrated, it starts to feel, quote unquote, right, as if it was meant to be there all along, to bear fruit, to rise and radiate, to blossom when you least expect it. Yet another part of you always knew that it was going to happen. Right? So imagine what it would be like to let go of the idea of the boundaries of comfort in your limitations. comfort in your pain, comfort in those conditioned patterns, and instead embrace the newness of every moment, the potential of choosing your very own placebo effect in order to get a complete and aligned transformation of your spiritual evolving life force. And maybe, just maybe, I've planted more than just one seed in this live stream. Maybe more. But I'm wondering if you're wondering in your mind right now, how many other seeds have been planted in all the other episodes so far? I mean, think about it. You are always at the precipice, at the edge of something new and brilliant to happen. Anyways, all the time. We absolutely do not know what the next moment in life will bring. We just don't know. So if we had this reverence for the unknown, the unexpected, for all things lining up to this moment, and you maintain that, what we always talk about, that imbalance of being slightly tilted towards growth and evolution, then a transformation you've been unconsciously planning for your whole life could happen at any moment, for any reason, in just about any possible way it can. And that's evidence in the research Ross is talking about. So the question is, can you allow, and listen to this, can you allow the uncomfortableness of who you were to consistently inspire you into the unknown of who you are going to become as a result of these choices you make, from the choice convergence point within the infinity matrix? And that's when you've positioned yourself intentionally for your very own soul-based prescription to get the transformations you desire in your life. And remember, you are always greater than you think you are. So trust that you have this power within you. And because it's within you, it's okay to claim it, to accept it, and absolutely to enjoy it. And like the dirt, welcome it, nurture it, and allow it to become a natural part of your internal and external ecosystem. As an orchard of placebo effects that are always ripe and ready for picking when you choose them to be.
That's exceptional. So in 2010, a team from Harvard gave 40 patients in irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, a placebo, and each patient received a bottle clearly labeled as placebo pills and was told that they were made of an inert substance which had been shown to help with IBS.
So can I just interject, because
Sure.
this brings up something for me. Like when I was doing my neurolinguistic programming training, I did some, one of the founders of neurolinguistic program is Richard Bandler, and he one of the talks he was doing was, he was saying that him and one of, I can't remember who else he was with, one of the other primary people in the NL neurolinguistic programming community, figured that what they could do was they could actually bottle a sugar pill and call it the placebo.
That's right. Yeah.
And the FDA wouldn't allow them to do it because they said, well, it might not be effective. And they said, well, we'll just put a double strength one out. A double strength placebo.
And considering that most placebo pills are just sugar pills, the groups just became fatter.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know. I'm feeling better, but I've really put on a lot of weight. Okay. So the first group got that. Then the second group of 40 patients were given no pills, and they served as the control group. So after 3 weeks, the group who took the placebo pills reported twice as much symptom relief compared to those who received no pills. So here's where it gets even more interesting. The relief provided by the placebo pills worked as well as the best IBS medications that are on the market now. So, like our Master Lab series, these studies offer a glimpse into the power of the subconscious mind. It didn't matter if the patients knew that with their conscious minds that they were given a placebo. It didn't matter. They were able to heal themselves because their subconscious minds were conditioned to put their belief in something external from them, like a pill. And as a result, even though their conscious minds knew it was a placebo, their subconscious minds had been programmed their whole lives to believe that pills heal. Didn't matter what was in the pill. It's just a pill. And I was told to heal, so it heals. That's it. Really think about this. Think about it real hard. Their whole lives, they were conditioned and convinced, and into the point where it was a belief system that the pill heals. How powerful is that? So let's say you've taken pills your whole life to help you with various health conditions. You've used different medications to aid you in healing headaches, allergies, depression, and even the flu. Then, based on your repeated experiences, something outside of you was changing how you felt inside of you. That's the conditioning. You can't feel better unless you take something externally. When you noticed a change in your internal state, you associated whatever it was outside of you with the internal change. You felt better. In time, you conditioned yourself to expect the same outcome without even thinking about it. You anticipated that your familiar past experiences were going to be the same predictable future experiences. So, put another way, you trained your brain and body to release the same pharmacy of chemicals as if you were given the actual medication. In the Harvard study, it's entirely possible that the placebo group made their own natural anti-inflammatory drugs. Now, what if you were to change your belief from giving your power to something outside of you to heal and place your belief on the power inside of you to heal? What if you changed your belief to the understanding that your body has the natural ability to heal itself if it's given the right biochemical stimuli? We kind of spoke about this back in episode 53. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. What if you conditioned your body daily?
Which, let me just interrupt you. So, because
Sure.
someone did also ask if there's replays. Yes, you can get replays on our YouTube channel. Just go to hackingtheinfinitymatrix.com/YouTube and you can register. You can subscribe and get all the replays and additional content there as well. So sorry, Ross, just it was good timing for
Not a problem.
showed up in this.
So what if you conditioned your body daily to a new mind and expected that your health could be changed by thought alone? This is similar to what we do with the infinity process. Is it possible that once you understood what and why and the how would become easier? This direction in the science of placebo, and it is a science, is now saying that there are infinite possibilities that our attention to something and bringing it into the physical reality allows our mind and the intention we direct with it to influence the outcome of whatever task we instruct for our bodies, because we are energy.
So now that the soil is fertile and ready to bring forth new experiences in your life, to bask in the sun with endless rays of life choices shining down on you, You can start right now to maneuver through this infinite time space that we call the infinity matrix, knowing that moment by moment, you are the sum total of all the choices you've ever made. And you are perfect right here, right now. And all you are left with is the experience of that spiritually evolving life force. So, if you enjoyed the stream today, the topic and those seeds I planted today, we are going to slip and slide all the way down the rabbit hole on Saturday's Down the Rabbit Hole segment. So come and join us. Seriously, it's such fun. It's such a fun time. And the crowd's growing bigger and bigger. And so, but the only thing is missing is you. Because I know you have whoever I'm talking to there. There's some that are there, but there's some, you know who you are. You're missing. So block off Saturday morning, 8 a.m. PST. Go to HT. It's running down the bottom here. Go to hackingtheinfinitymatrix.com/rabbit hole to get the Zoom link, and we'll see you there.
Hey, Gary, I want to throw something on that too. So just so you understand that the rabbit hole is a way different format than what we have here. Okay, this is an interaction. Everybody is on the screen and everybody's asking questions.
Everyone who chooses to be, because not everybody. Some people choose
right.
not to.
Yeah,
But yeah,
exactly. So, but that's it. This is an interactive stream that we do on Saturdays. So if you have questions that pop into your mind after this stream is done,
or insights you want to share, like any revelations,
rabbit hole.
It's so open. Yeah.
So it's such a different experience, and we just love it. I mean, it could go even longer, but we've got things to do too. Yeah. So, but that's our stream for today, everyone.
And so thanks for sticking around and participating. There was a ton of comments today, which was awesome. And so thanks for participating. We really appreciate you and feel very grateful to have you join us on these streams every week. And we got so much more cool stuff coming for you guys. So till next time, be well, everyone. And remember, we dare you to be exceptional, implement these hacks, and master the art of designing your reality. So until next time, we'll see you all later.
Thank you so much. We'll see you. Bye-bye.